Alright, so we're going to be doing more than 5-minute parts. We're going to try to make the most of my time here with the Rising Part 3 so that we can get through the entire book. So we're going to start here after Marissa said nothing. Chester got to know Marissa and Lena. The ladies had much in common. Both had a background in nuclear sciences, but Lena preferred physics and aviation more than science. Marissa was gentle-hearted, kind and compassionate, but aggressive. It was like she had been there to watch everything happen. Chester grew to trust this woman. She was quite young for a scholar like her. She didn't like to brag, but she did show off when necessary. Chester was waiting for Chandler and Finley to arrive. That's when he remembered he needed a fifth person to accompany their project. Chester said, "Ladies, excuse me." He got up and retrieved the phone book, sitting back down with the ladies. "Do any of you know an expert in vital readings and medicine?" Marissa shot her hand up. She also had a lot of energy and enthusiasm. She was serious and funny. "Charlie Daniels!" "Never heard of him," she said. "He's not well known," Marissa started, "but he's one of the best in his fields. Quick to learn and assist. He's the man you're looking for." He led Chester to the page with Charlie on it. Chester immediately called him. "Charlie P. Daniels, Ph.D. Charlie," Chester said, "can you meet us in my location under the name Chester Sullivan? I will need to retrieve my phone book. Like this to be formal? I'm working on a project. I'm concerned about health issues from what?" "We need to talk about this in private," Chester said. "I promise it's not a trap." Marissa took the phone from him. "Marissa Steele here. This is not a trap. We just want to discuss secret and important matters. This could be a technological breakthrough." "I accept," Charlie said, "but I will not be available until about 17 hours. I can plan something for then, but you will be behind. Free at 17 hours. Schedule me for then. I will do the same." Chester hung up. There was a knock at the door. Marissa opened the door. She was greeted by Finley, who kneeled and kissed her hand. "Greetings, miss." "Shall we come in?" Chandler asked. His smile was crooked, and he wore a peculiar cap. Chester showed them and gathered them around his dining table. As they gathered, he grabbed his model off the desk and brought it to the dining table. He also brought the cram and seasonings from the oven. It was still steaming. He left the oven on to keep it warm, but heated it up instead. He went back to the oven and pulled out a box from under it. Many types of silverware he had found in the. "Who's hungry?" Chester said cheerfully. "I've got some cram." "I can't eat that," Chester said, pointing to his lopsided mouth. "We can fix that," Chester said, further mashing the cram. He placed it in front of Chandler. "Basically liquid now." "No," Chandler said. "I can't eat it because of the salt content." "Sorry, Mr. Picky," Chandler said, taking his cram. "What the fuck do you want?" "Nothing is fine," Chandler said, standing up and slamming his hands on the table. "Have some goddamn respect," Marissa yelled, slamming her hands on the table and standing. Everyone sat there in silence. Marissa pulled her hair back out of her face while apologizing. Chester went back to storage to find the blueprints. After a short while, he found the box he was looking for. He ran back to the table and threw the box on it. Took everyone's empty cram containers and threw them away. He went to the box and handed everyone a blueprint and a pencil. "Who sees the spaceship in the middle of the room?" Chester asked. Everyone looked up. Chester pointed to the model in the middle of the table. "This goddamn thing." Everyone looked at it. Marissa and Lena were the only ones to study it. Finley looked at it and analyzed it. "So, Finley, what's your last name?" "Lee," Finley answered. "So, Finley... Lee? What the hell is wrong with you? Emily asked. It's Finley! Went to the bookshelf, where Chester went to the bookshelf and grabbed the phone book, pinned it on the table and opened it to the F section. Pointed to Finn's name and ID. God damn this book, Finn said, slapping the page. So, Chester said cautiously, I hear you build some planes, Lena. Not to brag. Lena bragged, but I build every component in every plane I fly. Holy shit, he said. We're waiting for Charlie to arrive. In the meantime, who wants to draw a starship I will be flying? I don't know what the fuck you're flying, Marissa said. I don't know what it should be. Since the creation of the world's smallest fusion reactor, the size of a donut, I have awed the dream of flying a nuclear starfighter. I want the engines to be split in 3 parts across the ship. The wings must be stable enough to hold a nuclear fusion and fission reactor. This also hold computer modules and store lots of uranium. With my research in nuclear sciences, Marissa said, the engine would require excess storage throughout the wing to handle that weight. Not to mention the cooling water and control rods. I've seen nuclear reactors. Something small enough to fit on a wing without breaking or grounding the entire ship would require a dangerous runaway reaction that wouldn't be able to fuse the particles back together. Particle accelerators will be added to allow movement through the reactors. The uranium must be able to be smashed together through this particle accelerator, then off to the fusion reactor for excess materials that will be added. Why do we need a fusion reactor? Taylor asked. You explained the particle accelerator would do the work of fusion. And incorporate the fusion reactor into this accelerator. The fusion reactor is a donut shape. To explain, the particle accelerator throws the particles together. The uranium can be fused into the reactor, or in the reactor. Uranium will fission and cause a reaction. The excess particles will be fed into the accelerator using magnets and attract end products of uranium that were destroyed or created and creates more uranium. It recycles the fuel. The gamma rays will be harnessed by this. Chester grabbed something from the box and put it on the table. I do this, bitches. Gamma radiation is taken and it is turned into throttle, making it antimatter by freezing the energy in possibly absolute zero. Then only does the gamma radiation turn into muons and gluons that will later be formed in the rare part of this gamma refinery into actual atoms. Possibly hydrogen that will be fed through the thrusters and used to the flame. I want 3 more of these. I also want this to be air-fed and internal combustion. Gamma radiation that escapes the reactor through special exits, combined with the nitrogen that is fed through the engine and will allow the nitrogen to emit the same gamma radiation, along with dangerous alpha and beta particles that will assist the thruster and allow the ship to achieve hypersonic speeds. This will be the end. Part 3. Tune in for Part 4.